So here we go. Good evening, everybody. It's wonderful to have you all here. So good evening, Patricia. Good evening, Renyard. Good evening, Vitali. Oh, I didn't say hello to you, Magedo. Hi to you there, Magedo. And hi to Valentine as well. So, and Count Beauty. Wonderful to see you this evening, Count Beauty. Let's see, we were doing this article about what's going to be left in the fossil record of our civilization in a million or 20 million or 50 million years time. Ah, you're Maha. Now I understand. So Magedo is Maha. Hi, wheelchair guy. Great to have you back. And Manisco, good evening. Wonderful to see you. So, as I was saying, we were doing this article about what's going to be left of in the fossil record. Good evening, Laurie, and good evening, Falern. And clearly, our civilization in several million years' time is going to leave a very clear imprint on this planet. I know for at least there's going to be a layer of plastic. Good evening, Maria Lazard. Great to have you. Okay, so I think it's 8 o'clock and time to start. Manji, yay! Great to have you as well. Okay, so let me put the first question here. And good evening, Ghosty, as well. Okay, yes, that looks fine. Okay, so the idea, as you all know, is to find the right word to put in the gap. So we've just got to wait for this to come up. It'll be here any second now. Lag notwithstanding, and here it comes. Okay, after several million years, as the weight of seawater and sediment perverts, warps, defiles, subverts, taints the subterranean layers beyond recognition, some of the foundation piles will fracture, twisting within compacting mud rock formations like the fossil roots of an immense long vanished tree. Okay, this was talking about what's left of Shanghai, and how Shanghai was going to sink into the mud and be covered over with mud. And then there were going to it would be part of the fossil part of the different layers. Ooh, so this is really interesting. So we've got Count Beauty who goes for subverts. Vitali says defiles. Maria Lazard says subverts. Falern goes defiles. Valentine goes for subverts. Renyard goes for subverts, and so does Hadi. George Washington says good evening, so good evening to UGW. Laurie goes for subverts. Patricia says warps or subverts. Manji says subverts as well. This is really interesting. Ronan, good evening, Ronan. He says defiles. And Ghosty says subverts as well. I'm amazed. Okay, so let's see. To taint means to pollute. Yeah. So this water has been tainted with oil. And okay, so Maha goes for warps. Laurie, where's Oksana? Oh, thank you, Surya. Thank you. That's really generous of you. Every little bit is fine. I didn't see you, Oksana. Hi there, Oksana, as well. Yeah, so this is really, really interesting. It's definitely not taints. Oksana goes for warps. Okay, to subvert. Normally, to subvert is talking about to subvert a nation, to subvert a political system, a subversive. Yeah. No, it's not. It's definitely not subvert. Yeah. To pervert means to make bad. So a pervert has weird sexual preferences. Huh. Hadi says plastic warps in the heat. To defile is to make dirty, to make something holy less holy. So, I'm going to have to say this is really good by Patricia, by Maha, and by Oksana. And GW and Hadi have gone for warps as well. Okay, to warp is to deform. And notice they're talking here about layers of sediment. And these warp, they change, they move. Yeah? So to warp, a piece of wood, if it's not properly dried before you use it, it warps. Thank you, Soroya, once again. That's really kind of you. So the answer here is warps. Yeah, to warp is to twist, to move in various different directions. Yeah. New wood warps under sunlight. Exactly. No, to defame means to say something that's bad about someone that is not true. To defile, normally you defile something that is holy, is to do something obscene, or something, to make something holy, unholy, or less holy. So to defile somebody's tomb, for example. Yeah. Your ice cream, a reward, definitely, Patricia. To defile, yeah, it's for example, if I walked into to go and see the Black Rock in Mecca in my t-shirt and no top, that would be the idea of to defile, to desecrate. I love the word desecrate. Yeah. To pervert is to change the course of something. To pervert the course of justice, to pervert the truth. And subvert is like trying to create a revolution, yeah, is to change the status quo for something that you want. You subvert nations, you subvert political systems. So it's definitely to warp. Yeah, to warp is to twist, to move up and down. Yeah, plastic warps in the heat, as Hadi said. And new wood warps in sunlight. Yeah, as Surya said as well. If you streak somewhere, yeah. If I streak, I'm trying to think of. If I streaked in a holy place, that might be defiling it. Good evening, Mukul. Okay, so let's see the next one. Ooh, the next one I really like. Vert talks about to turn. Yeah, verter in Spanish, to tip over. Pervert is kinky. Okay, as millions of years stretched into tens of millions, the transformations come more slowly. Rare earth minerals trickled, leached, dribbled, saturated from discarded mobile phones and from other electronic devices may begin to form secondary mineral crystals. Ooh, this one's great. Yes, a pervert. A pervert is a noun, Renyard. Yeah, is someone kinky. Yeah? Okay, so I'm going to read this one again. As millions of years stretch into tens of millions, the transformations come more slowly. Rare earth minerals trickled, leached, dribbled, saturated from discarded mobile phones and other electronic devices may begin to form secondary mineral crystals. Good evening, Pepax. Great to have you. So Pepax is user. So we'll call just English and Spanish. And I used to speak French, but my French isn't very good anymore for not using it. So let's see. We've got trickled for Vitali. We've got saturated for learn. We've got dribble from Valentine, dribbled from Count Beauty. Good evening, Priyal. We've got leached from Oksana, trickled from Patricia, trickled from user who's Pepax, George Washington from Ginty, good evening, trickled from Manji, trickled from Maria Lazar. And Patricia says, what is leached? That is a really, really, really good question, Patricia. Trickled from Reynard, leached from Soya. No clue, says Laurie. Saturated from Maha. Saturated from Gusty. Ronan goes for leached. Mukul says saturated and leached. Leaked from. Okay, leaked I quite like. Okay, leached says Haddy. Okay, so Patricia asked the key question. What does leech mean? To leach means to wash something out over time. To move, to be slowly drawn out of something. Yeah? Let's see. I think trickled probably fits, but it's not very good. Leached, says Hadi, filtered. Okay, Oksana googled leech. To leach, to wash out of. Leaching, the leaching of soil. The minerals come out of the soil. That's the idea, Vitali. Yeah? Maybe you've got a basement or an underground room, and the minerals leach out of the walls, and you'll find minerals on the wall because they've slowly been drawn out of the rock. Good evening, Anglophile. No, lychees. Let's see. Lychees. No, leeches are, it's an animal that sucks your blood. Yeah? Manji, leached on second thoughts. It's the answer. To dribble, dribbled from discarded. I guess dribbled might fit as well. But no. And saturated just means a solution that has as the maximum possible of something dissolved in it. No, Mukul. Leech. I think it's a leech. I'm pretty sure it's with a double E. Yeah? Babies dribble. Blah. So, dribbled and trickled. But the rare minerals aren't going to trickle out of the phone. Some sort of gunk is going to trickle out of the phone. But here, to be washed out slowly. Saturated fat, unsaturated fat. To dribble in basketball. Okay, to leach. Leach, to wash something out of the soil. Leached. Bleached. To bleach is a chemical, is a chlorate oxide. Yeah? And to bleach is to make white, to put bleach on something. Leach is very different. To leach is to suck something out of the soil very slowly. Yeah? Okay, and this is the idea of leech. Okay? So notice there are quite a few things close to leech. Effectively to filter out of the soil, to be washed out of the soil. Yeah? Okay, so to leech. I think there are various chemical processes to leach things out. The soil below the water tail is saturated. Yes, it's saturated with the minerals that have been leached out of the soil above. They leach down into this, and then maybe they go somewhere else. So that was quite a hard word. Glass from windshields and shop windows will devitrify, stop being glass, ooze out of the earth's pores. That's it. That's the idea, Patricia. Glass from windshields and shop windows will devitrify, darkening, just as obsidian does. Obsidian is volcanic glass after long burial, after being buried for a long time. By now, the entire city is compressed to a coat, layer, vein, veneer, perhaps only a few meters thick in the strata. Okay, this is an easier one, I think. Okay, so we've got layer for Vitali, for Count, for McCall and for Patricia. User wants to go for a vein and Manji goes for a layer. So notice, you can have a vein of minerals, but normally a vein is, here we're talking about a flat layer. And a vein is like a streak. A vein is normally rounder. Look at the veins in your body. These are round. So we've got layer for Valentine, for Renyard, for Gosti. To devitrify is to stop being glass. So shop windows are made of glass. Because if you actually look at glass, glass is sand. Glass is made of silicon oxide. Yeah, and it's actually one phase of glass, and it can devitrify. Yeah, it stops being glass. Layer for Ronan, layer for Laurie, layer for Oksana, veneer for Hadi. Surya goes for layer. A psychiatrist helps people by talking to them. A psychologist maybe just studies psychology. Layer for Maria Lazar. In the strata. Okay, notice here strata plural. Yeah, this is talking about a stratum. Yeah. A veneer is a very thin piece of wood that you put over the surface of a piece of furniture. Yeah, so you take fiberboard and you stick veneer on the top. So if something's not solid wood, it's got veneer. That's very good, Ginty. I love it. Leech is gradual disintegration of contents out of some sort of solid materials into a liquid medium. Okay, so to devitrify, devitrification is just a change of phase. So it's not a veneer and it's not a coat of paint. To deface, Renyard. Deface. Yeah? D-E-F-A-C-E. Okay. So the answer here very clearly is layer. A layer. A stratum, let's see, if you dig down you will find different layers. A strata is the plural of stratum, and these are just flat layers, one on top of the other. Yeah, there are different strata, and if you dig down you will find different geological strata. These are flat layers, but flat layers normally talking in geology. Phenomena, spectra, strata. Yes, it's because it's Latin. That's absolutely right, Pepax. The lower strata of society, the layers. Very good. Okay, now we've got one of my favourite ones. A, an and the. All that is left of A, the, zero article, A and the, Shanghai Tower, is a geological anomaly studied with bits in it, with A, the, zero article, A and the and zero article. Fossil outlines of chopsticks, chairs, SIM cards and hair clips. So Count Beauty goes for the. Patricia says a thin coat of, a film of. Okay. Rostam goes for the and zero article. Oksana goes for the and zero article. Yes, articles, Pepax, absolutely. Laurie goes for the and the. Vitali goes for the and the. Okay, so this is really quite interesting. Maria Lazar says the. Laurie the and the. Pepax the and the. McCall says 1 the and 2 he's not sure. Okay, so let's look at these. First question, Shanghai Tower. Maria goes the and the. Soya goes for the and zero article. Manji the and the. Patricia the and zero article. Between you, you've got this between you all, you've got this very nicely. So notice, Shanghai Tower, it's got in capitals. It's talking about the one and only. There's only one building called Shanghai Tower. Yeah? Gosti says the and the. Maha says the. So, Shanghai Tower, it can only be the. If this was in small letters, it could be a Shanghai Tower, but it's in capitals. The tower is just one. That's the point, Laurie. Yeah, because it feels like it, Pepax. That's a good answer as well with these. Okay, this is so it's got to be the Shanghai Tower. Yeah, it could be A and the if it was small s, small t, but there's only one. Or the and the. Yes, because of the proper noun, and there's only one of them. Exactly. Now, let's look at the next one. So, fossil outlines. Hadi says the and no article. Okay. Outlines is plural. S. It can't be A. Yeah, because this is plural. A is only for single things. The whole family was at table or at the table. Both are valid, Rostom. Okay, this is quite interesting. I think in this, probably the best answer here is the. Because the specific outlines of chopsticks, chairs, SIM cards, and hair clips. I think let's see, I'm thinking about this zero article and fossil outlines of. This of is saying the specific ones. I think if we had ... here, or etc, whoops, hair clips. I think if there was etc, then we could also say the and zero article. But as it's just like this, I think the specific. And the is what they used in the original article. The when talking about a particular tower. Yes. Okay, I like that, Soya. The mother of John says, I think it's a sign of respect. Because notice, for example, God as opposed to the God for learn. Father and mother. I think it's the same idea as God without an article. Zero article sounds very artsy because of with outlines of. The dot thing. Yes, that's the idea. Mums and dads are special. That's the point, Pepax. I agree, P. Sounds very artsy as well. Let's go on. Yeah, it was very random, but even more random. I think maybe you could use zero article in the previous one, but I'm not very happy with it because it's saying the specific outlines of specific things. Yeah, for learn, have a look at my video on a God, the God, and God. Yeah, because it's almost like a name. Yeah, and we don't say the Vitali or the Alex. We say Alex, and I think it's almost like a proper noun. Yeah. Okay, all of this will be deeply buried, in some cases thousands of meters down. But geology never stands still. After around 100 million years, as new mountain ranges begin to form, the layers of compacted junk, rubbish, rubble, bits, scraps that was once Shanghai Tower may be pushed upwards and revealed. So, Vitali goes for junk. But yes, Surya, that's the point. The God, because it depends if you're talking about Hanuman or Kali or someone else. That's the point. So, Vitali goes for junk, Valentine for rubble, Oksana for rubble. Falern says rubble or scraps. Maria Lazar goes for rubble, so does Manji. Scraps for Count Beauty, rubble for Roland. Good evening, Roland. Scraps for Laurie. Rostam goes for rubble. Hadi goes for scraps. A John. Notice, Pepax, normally a John is somebody who goes to is a random person who goes to prostitutes. So be careful of that word, a John. I would rather have a Jack. Patricia was saying it sounded more artsy without the. Scraps because it's made of metal, says Laurie. But is it made of metal or is it made of concrete and brick, Laurie? Renyard goes for rubble, Laurie goes for scraps. Junk or rubble for Patricia. Gosti for rubble, Surya for scraps, and Pepax for rubble. And rubble for Manish as well. So if you knock down a building, what do you get on the ground? Yeah? I guess you have scraps. I guess you have junk. I think junk is more to do with objects that are no longer of use. I'm thinking of a junk shop. Vitali changes to rubble. Yeah, the John is also a toilet. Yes, Rostam, that's very good. Manish goes for rubble as well. Rubbish you throw in a dustbin. Scraps. Scrap is usually to be recycled. A scrapyard is where you take your car. Scraps of food as well. And Laurie's gone for rubble as well. And bits. Compacted bits. I guess bits fits, but it's not a very good word. Yeah. And Pepax goes for rubble as well. Remember, Barney Rubble. And Rohi goes for scrapes or scraps. I thought it was you for a second, Hadi, when I saw the orange. Rubble, debris. Yes, the debris that was once the Shanghai Tower. Rubble is normally broken bricks, broken pieces, broken concrete. Yeah? So, you put the rubble in the skip. No, scraps, particularly scraps of food, a scrap of paper. Yeah? A scrap of information. You can use scraps for almost anything. Small irregular pieces. Yeah, bits can work, but it's a pretty boring word. Yeah? So yeah, bits fits. He wrote some but then scrapped it. Okay, and here we go again. Structures have stories, writes Roma Agrawal in her book Built. They tell the, zero article, A and the and zero article, stories of the people who lived in them and the world they were made for. So, okay. Zero for count, Vitali goes for thee, Laurie for thee, Oksana for thee, Falern goes thee, Valentine goes thee or zero article, Manji goes for thee, Pepax for zero, Maria Lazard for thee, bits, small things. Renyard goes for thee, Rostom goes for no article here. This is really interesting. This is such a difficult question. Patricia goes for zero article or the. So, I think Roland goes zero article. Gosti goes for the. Surya for zero. Okay, now let's look at this. Can't be A because their story's plural. Rohi goes for thee, Manish goes for zero article. It's definitely not A because these stories are plural. So it can't be A and it can't be A and the. The stories of the specific people. So it could be the story of the specific people. And the is correct. However, they tell stories of the people. So some stories, general stories, and zero article is also good. Therefore, I need to congratulate Valentine and Patricia, because you're the two who said to me the and zero article. The and zero article. So both. Let's see, this is a very difficult thing. So, the, because it refers to the people, but maybe the says the specific ones, but it could be just some of the stories. Hussein, great to have you. So well done Valentine and well done Patricia. Yeah, no, this is a really difficult question, this questions of A and the. And another 2 ice creams. I'm going to buy you a litre of ice cream. A litre for both you and for Valentine, Patricia. And again, same goes for the we still haven't, it still hasn't appeared. You've got next question is the same question again. Articles are particularly difficult, Pepax. So, A, the, zero article, A and the, same goes for the remains of Shanghai Tower. Even after such. So, I think this was a question. I'm going to take out this such because it doesn't make sense. After so much time has passed. So, A same goes, the same goes, A and the. So we've got V for Vitali, for Count, for Valentine, for Soya, for Falern, for Laurie. Okay, ice creams for Oksana. 0 for Manny. Maria goes for thee. Renyard and Rostom for thee. I feel it is same, but I think it's thee. That's your problem, Pepax. Manny goes and thee. Patricia says thee. Manish for thee. Roland for thee. Manji for thee. User says 0 okay. Hadi for thee. Ghosty for thee. Oksana for thee as well. Okay, notice. Same. If something is identical, then we're only thinking about one specific thing. You'll probably find Hussein it's the thing you make most mistakes with. Rohi goes for thee and 0 article. Let's see. The best answer here is the same. The same. Okay, good evening, Alex. I guess, let's see, same goes for the remains. I think it's possible to use 0 article, but it sounds very, very, very informal. It's dropping the when it should be there. And the is the right answer. Good evening, Carmela. Great to have you. The same. I think you could use same goes, but it needs a the. Okay. So, good evening, Fayez. Because this is what is expected. The should means it is expected. So, the same. We normally say the same. The same for me. This is the same. Yeah? The should says this is what we expect to happen. This is what is good form. It's what's recommended. Okay, so the same. Yeah, let's see. Same here. You could say that, but the same here. Technically it needs a the, and without the it sounds very informal. Okay, so let's go on. Any future explorers, whether an evolved form of life on this planet or from another world, would be able to recreate, renovate, reanimate, restore, repeat a picture of the 21st century life in astonishing detail, provided they can use the same techniques that geologists use today. So, okay. We've got restore for learn, recreate for Pepax, Count Beauty goes for recreate, so does Valentine, Vitali, Manny, Oksana, Laurie, Manish and Maria Lazar. Alex says recreate as well. Of course I know Scooby-Doo, Dick Dastardly and Wacky Races. Recreate for Roland. 237, yes, but you're halfway between India and here. Manji says recreate, so does Patricia, so does Rostam, so does Renyard, so does Surya, and so does Rohi, and Carmela, and Ghosty as well. Okay, you renovate something that's broken and old is to make it new, to make it so that it can be used again, to renovate an old building. To reanimate, you could reanimate a dead corpse. Somebody who's dead, they put these electrodes on them in the hospital series in a hope to reanimate somebody that's dead. Frankenstein is the story is to reanimate the living. To restore means to repair something that's broken, to make it look as it originally was. To repeat is to do again. Hadi goes for recreate. Hussein, because I wasn't getting very many views on them, and it was taking me a lot of time. Yeah, it was just not worth the effort. Recreation and recreate. Yeah, a recreation ground, recreation, to recreate. But here, recreate. To recreate, the stress on the re. Here it's recreate. Yeah, to recreate, to make again. Good evening, Firdaz. Great to have you. Not to say not recreate now, yes. But that's what I like. Sometimes there comes a point when everyone said the wrong one, Pepax, and then somebody who's brave gets the right one. But this answer is definitely to recreate, to create again. To recreate is to give an idea of what something was. I drew a picture to recreate what it used to be, to reanimate a dead body. Oh yes, yay, yay, yay. We've got a, the and zero article again for you. And I know how you all love these questions. Okay, fossilized bicycles or rubber boots will indicate we were bipedal. Fossil keyboard will suggest the shape of our hands. And spectacles or hearing aids will disclose how we perceive the world. Fossilized bicycles or rubber boots. Yeah, it was very time consuming and it didn't pay off. The poems I'm making instead of them are actually doing much better. They're much more long term. Okay, a recreation centre. Yes, a recreation centre. So count goes the or zero. Manny goes a and the. Rostam zero article. A fossil keyboard, says Count Beauty. A or zero article followed by the. The or zero article for the first one, says Laurie. The for the second one. The or zero and a for Valentine. Zero article and a for Alex. Zero article and a for Patricia. Manny changes. No. Zero and the. Zero article for Manji. The fossilized. Okay, so let's see. Zero article and a for Renyard. Roland says it's specific. Okay, Vitali says the zero article, a and the. Oh, that's very good, Vitali. That's very good indeed. Ghosty goes for a. Okay, I'm going to start explaining this. Okay, I think the best answer, fossilized bicycles, generally. Yeah? No article. And I think the best answer is zero article. Yeah? The best answer is zero article. However, let's see, we can't use a because these are plurals. However, the, as we're talking about the class, and we know these two classes, the fossilized bicycles and the rubber boots that we will find, the specific ones that we will find in the layer, will indicate. So this first one, the and zero article. We were bipedal, and Here we can't use zero article. Fossil keyboard, no. So, a fossil keyboard, one or some fossil keyboard. The, talking about the whole class of things, because we will probably find various, and the fossil keyboard. Okay, so the whole group. So either a, one of them, or the. And the answer here is a and the. Although in the original article, I think it was a fossil keyboard, but both are possible. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. Ah, that's better. Okay. So, for example, a car is a useful thing. The car is a useful thing. The car, the whole concept, the whole class, the car, the whole class. A car, any car. And that's why both of them. Economical with the truth. Economical with the truth, because you use little of it. And now you need a martini or two, Patricia. The sketch, outline, scheme, figure of a set of dentures, a motorcycle helmet, a wheelchair, a neoprene wetsuit, or even a shop mannequin will recall the contours of our body, perhaps even that we were sexually dimorphic. So the sketch, outline, scheme, figure of a set of dentures, a motorcycle helmet, a wheelchair, a neoprene wetsuit, or even a shop mannequin. Okay, so we've got outline for Vitali, for Maria Lazard, for Count Beauty, for Oksana, for Laurie, for Manish, for Manji, for Valentine, for Renyard, for Hadi. Outline for Alex. Pepak says the figure. Wallaby as a wallaby as opposed to the wallaby. Thank you very much. A wallaby, any wallaby. The wallaby, the whole group of animals. Thank you, Vitali. You're good with that. Outline for Manny, figure for Rostom. Dimorphic, that is di, two, and morph, forms. So, two forms. So, humans are sexually dimorphic. There are two forms, males and females. Dimorphic. Yeah? Okay. Dimorphic, having two different morphologies. Outline for Patricia, outline for Ghosty, figure for Firdaz. And outline is correct for, says Alex. Silhouette. Yeah, I was thinking about that word. It would work very nicely, the silhouette. Outline, adapt with contour. Yes, Hadi. Denture are false teeth. These plastic teeth that you put in your mouth to eat with. Rohi says a sketch. Okay, a sketch is a drawing. A sketch you do by hand. Somebody draws it. Natives don't think about articles. Yeah? They don't think about articles at all. They just use the one that is right to them. And that's part of the problem. Okay, outline. Are we on a hiding to nothing? With a, an and the, you're probably on a hiding to nothing. Outline for Roland. Okay, a sketch is a drawing. A figure. The figure of a set of dentures. No, normally if you're talking about the figure of a person, yeah, or a figure, a number, a scheme, definitely not. It's got to be outline. The outline, the external shape. The outline's talking about a shape. The figure. No, my figure is really fat. a figure, talking about numbers. No, it's the outline. It's the outline of something. So, sorry Carmela, it's outlined, very definitely. Okay, and we're going to get another one. Yeah, a figure. Figure skating. No, figure is normally talking about the shape of people, the outline of people. Yeah? Woof, I don't know. That's a difficult one. And Rostom says, I could make an outline of the window. Yes. Okay. Archaeologically speaking, clothes have not been very hard, lasting, wearing, enduring, fast, standing for much of human history, says Zalasiewicz. But as soon as plastic came along, we suddenly have super durable techno fur, as it were, detachable techno fur, plastic clothes made of plastic. Hadi says outline, delineate. That's very good. Okay, so wearing for Count and Vitaly and Valentine. Manny says lasting. Valentine says long lasting. Yes, it should have been very long lasting. Yeah, I think without the hard, have been very enduring. Hard wearing, says Roland, and so does Maria Lazar. Manji for wearing, Oksana for wearing. Hard wearing. Or long lasting, says Fulern. And Renyard, hard wearing. Hard standing. Hard standing is a place where you can park your vehicle. Yeah, it's where your vehicle's not going to sink into the mud. So it's good to have a piece of hard standing outside your house. It's a place where where the surface of the earth is very hard, particularly with concrete. Yeah, that's hard standing. Notice I put fast here because fast also means fixed. Yeah, fasten your seatbelts. But no. So, okay, hard wearing for Laurie. Firdaz says hard lasting. No, it's long lasting, Firdaz. Hard standing, says Surya. No, hard standing is a hard place where you can park, which doesn't get muddy, which is solid, outside. And Gosti says hard lasting, long lasting. Enduring, says Patricia. I think without the hard, I would accept the enduring. Much enduring. There's not such a word. Okay. Hard wearing, says Hadi. Rohi says fast. Hard wearing, says Manish. Hard wearing, strong and well made, says Roland. Hard wearing for Rostam. Okay, so hard wearing, this is a collocation. No, hard and fast. It's not fast. It's not fast, Pepax. Yeah, hard has not been very hard and fast for much of human history. Hard wearing. Okay, notice this wearing. We're talking about to wear down. To break something down. Yeah? Long wearing. Yeah, I guess you could use long wearing. But something that's hard wearing, it means you can use it a lot and it doesn't break. Yeah? Hard wearing. Yeah. Okay, I would say long lasting. Yeah, long wearing as well. I would say enduring without hard. Hard and fast. I would need an and hard standing is a place to park your car. Enduring appeal. Okay, yes. a long-standing friend, a long-standing relationship, yeah, hard-wearing boots, to wear down, to wear away. I think they're the same for learn. Yeah, I think down gives the idea of to reduce the amount of, yeah, the heel wears down, and to wear away talks about it going away, but the effect is the same. Yeah, weary, tired, yes. Yeah, enduring another air raid siren. I'm sorry, Oksana. Okay, it isn't just our bodies that will be remembered. Our minds will leave a track, trail, trace, tail as well. The scale and complexity of our fossil cities will testify that we were social beings. Fast and steady. Okay, so where do we start? Trace for Valentine, for Vitali, for Count, for Patricia, for Oksana. Durable, enduring much wear, hard wearing. That's the idea for learn. Durable, hard wearing, yes. Trace for Maria Lazad, for Manji, for Lori, for Surya, for Rostam, for Rohi, for Hadi. A trace, a vestige, says Hadi. Trace for Fiendaz, trace for Pepax. Trace for Renyard as well. A tail. A tail is something that goes behind. A trail. A trail is a road. Yeah, a track is also a road. But trace is what is left, the vestige, the bits left behind. Yeah, I can see traces of paint on this. Yeah. Okay, Indus Valley vibes. Well, there's a lot of Indo-European in English, yeah? So the answer here is trace. A trace is little bits of evidence left behind, little things that you can show. So they will leave behind evidence, vestiges. Trace for Manish and trace for Roland as well. So traces, yeah? There were traces of ink on my finger. Yeah, some people leave traces, some rubbles. Okay, that's very good. Yeah, maybe the rubble is a trace of what is behind. Legacy is too much. A legacy is I don't know, for example, the Colosseum in Rome is a legacy. Yeah, what Manji, what Pepax said is very subtle. Yeah, and I like it. It's very, very, very clever because he said an awful lot without saying anything. A legacy, yeah, the Colosseum would be a legacy, but maybe some Roman graffiti carved on the Colosseum would be a trace, something, a little bit of evidence left behind. Yeah, track and field event, says Fernaz. Yeah, no, Pepax was very good with that. Okay, so traces, very definitely. So let's try one more. Okay. Yeah, one more. I think we'll probably get this one and one more after this as well. So the traces, the little bits left behind. No, because Pepax, you might get into trouble for saying something like that, because I know where you live. Yeah? An inkling. I like that inkling talking about traces. That's good, Hadi. So, perhaps a deep future geologist might conclude we were a hive species, a hive like a colony of bees, like termites. But it's likely there will be enough evidence of individual invention in the steep, sharp, sheer variety of fossil imprints. What Zalasiewicz calls technofossils, to suggest otherwise. Okay, this looks really good. We've got sheer with a double E for Vitali, for Valentine, for Count Beauty, for Maria Lazard, for Oksana, for Patricia, for Roland, for Manji, for Renyard. Okay, so let's look at this. Steep. Sheer with a double E for Laurie as well. A steep hill. The price is very steep, but not a steep variety. The immense variety, the absolute variety. Sharp. Well, a knife is sharp and it cuts very well. We've got sheer for Renyard and Laurie. Immense variety, says Patricia. Manish for sheer, same for Surya, same for Rohi, and for Firdaz and Gosti, and Pure. Good evening, Pure, as well. Shear means to move in two directions or to cut. You shear sheep, or I cut my beard. Yeah, shear sheep to wool gather. That's very good, Patricia. Alan Shearer's Shearer class. Okay, I guess his shear class. Yes, I have a chemistry degree, believe it or not. And shear for Pepax as well. Shear, S-H-E-E-R. Shear can mean vertical, absolute, total. Yeah, the massive number, the sheer number, the absolute number. Precipitous for steep, says Roland. Veritable. The veritable variety. I think that's quite a good synonym or substitute for sheer for learn. Yeah, the veritable. I would say the very variety, the sheer variety, the absolute variety. Sheer invention, the sheer inventiveness. Yeah, Alan Shearer, I'm sure his ancestors used to shear sheep. Sheer, thorough, says Hadi. Steep also means expensive. Yes, Rostom. Okay, so last question, ladies and gentlemen. One more drink. And no wonder it creates sparks. Okay, the knack, 40, ingenuity, guile, tact needed to create something like a mobile phone, extracting deeply buried hydrocarbons and metals, then transporting them between continents to be combined in highly complex assemblages, will record the scale of our invention. So, Verlearn says knack 4, but clearly there's no 4, so he's discarding knack. Valentine goes for ingenuity. Shearing alpacas. Wow, I've actually sheared a sheep, and it's incredibly difficult. Will Bond. Okay, Oksana says ingenuity, so does Count. Tika goes for knack. Maria Lazard for ingenuity. I missed what Vitali said before he retracted. Ingenuity for Love Christine. Ingenuity for Renyard and for Patricia and Laurie and Manji and Vitali and Surya and Firdaz. Rostam goes for knack. Gosti says ingenuity and Hadi says ingenuity. The knack to create. I would say the knack for creating something like a mobile phone. I would probably say maybe the knack for creating things like ... Okay, graft and guile. Graft is hard work, guile is trickery. Droving cattle drove him crazy. Ingenuity for Manish and ingenuity for Roland. Ingenuity, inventiveness. No. The 40, I would say, the forte for creating. A 40 is something you're really good. Okay, the knack to create, the knack for creating. No. the ingenuity to create. Guile is talking about being tricky and deceiving people. Is sophistry guile? Yes, very definitely. And so yeah, we need ingenuity to create a camera, but a knack to take a good photo. That's very good, Surya. And tact. Tact is talking about being polite, yeah, being tactful, saying the right thing. The answer here is ingenuity. Inventiveness. Yes, the inventiveness. Let's see, if you have a knack for something, you've got a special skill, a special way of doing it. A 40 is something very good at, somebody's very good at. So, I don't know. Yeah, keeping my room clean is not my forte, not my strong point. Guile is trickery. He used guile to win the competition, to gaslight. That's to guile as well. And tact, you need to be tactful. Yeah, a special knack, a special way of doing things. Ingenuity, very definitely. The ingenuity needed, the knack needed, the forte needed. Yeah. His stupidly guileless heart, innocent in that case, without trickery. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for tonight. Thank you all for coming. It's been wonderful having you. Thank you, fan of I Swear English. I love it. Okay, well, grammar on Thursday, fan of I Swear English. Okay, this last one was easy. Gaslighting is pretending that something is true when it's not, with the idea of driving somebody crazy. Poof, I ain't hating the heat. To gaslight, this is to try and drive somebody mad by pretending something is true, or hiding their keys and then saying, but you're going mad. Thank you, Rohi. So next stream on Tuesday, 2nd of August at 10:30 a.m. UK time. Thank you all for coming. Yeah. Thanks for everything. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Manji. Thank you, Firdaz. Thank you, Fan. Thank you, Pepax. Thank you, Rohi. Thank you, Roland. Thank you, Count. Thank you, Oksana. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Roland. Thank you, Rostom. Thank you, Surya. And thank you for the donation, Surya, as well. Thank you for Learn. Thank you, Hadi. Thank you, Pepax. Thank you to Manish. Thank you to Rostom. Thank you, Hadi. Thank you, Gosti. Thank you, Surya again. Thank you, Vitali. Thank you, Manji. Thank you, Laurie. Thank you, Love Christine. Thank you, Maria Lazard. Thank you, Latika. Thank you, Will Bond. Wow, what a lot of people. That's absolutely wonderful. And thank you to anyone else. Thank you, Pure. Thank you, Manish. Thank you, Laurie. I hope I've not missed anyone out. Thank you, Hadi, as well, very definitely. Okay, so I will see you all on Tuesday or maybe next Sunday. Good night and thank you so much. It's been great